So here's some of the things we got to think about if we're wanting to retire early at 55. The first is the rule of 55. Now, what is the rule of 55? The rule of 55 is simply if you are currently working at a job that offers a 401k and you retire, you're terminated, or you leave that job, you can use your current 401k, the one where you're working at right now, for retirement income without paying a 10% penalty. Now remember, if you move your money from 401k to IRA, or you have old 401ks and you take distributions out of those accounts before age 59 and a half, you will pay a 10% penalty. So the rule of 55 allows you to leave your 401k at your current 401k provider, use that for retirement income, and not pay the 59.5% 10% penalty. Now, there's no limits on how much you can take out, nor are there any numbers or any restrictions on how you take that money out. Now, your 401k provider may not allow you to take out monthly retirement income. They may say you have to take it out on an annual basis, but the rule of 55 allows you to dodge, to not have to pay that 10% penalty. The other factor we have to think about is the rule of 72T. Maybe you don't have a 401k at your current job. Maybe you're self-employed and all your money is in IRAs or SEP IRAs or simple IRAs, or maybe you've already rolled over your 401k into an IRA. How do I retire at 55? Well, the 72T rule with the IRS says you can take substantial equal periodic payments from your IRA over time. Now that's either 5 years or age 59 and a half, whichever is longer. So if you retire at 55, you have to take it until at least 60. Now, the hard thing with the 72T is knowing how much you're going to need inside of that 72T every year for retirement income. That's why you're watching this video, because we have to get a good idea of how much we're going to need for retirement income based on inflation and based on market returns. Okay, so you have the rule of 55 if you have a current 401k, and you have the 72T rule if you have an IRA. Remember, we're trying to retire at 55. How do we do that? A little tip here that I didn't put on the board. A better way, if you are in your 30s or 40s and you're wondering, can I retire at 55? A better way than stacking up all your money into a 401k or an IRA, obviously if you have a 401k and you're getting a match, keep doing that. If you are putting money into an IRA and a 401k and it's giving you a tax benefit, keep doing that. But another thing you could do is take any excess money or excess investments that you have, put those into a taxable brokerage account, not an IRA, not a 401k, not a Roth IRA, just a taxable, regular, good old-fashioned brokerage account. Build that account up and use that when you turn 55 for retirement income, because there's no restrictions. Many times the taxes are much, much lower than if you're pulling money out of your 401k or an IRA. I like to call this a freedom bucket of money, because you have the freedom to do whatever you want. If you want to retire at 52 and your freedom bucket allows you to go from 52 to 60, then hey, you can retire at 52 before you have to tap your qualified, your IRA, your 401k monies. Okay, so rule of 55, 72T, freedom bucket. Some other things you got to think about: 25X rule. What the 25X rule says, take your annual expenses and multiply those by 25. If you have that saved in retirement savings, whether that's in 401ks, IRAs, freedom bucket, bank accounts, CDs, whatever, then essentially you have enough money to retire, withdrawing 4% from that amount of money with inflation. So for this example, if we've got $50,000 that we need in retirement income on a yearly basis, multiply that by 25x, that comes to $1.25 million. So essentially, the rule, or the 25x rule, says you could take 4% off of that $1.2 million with inflation, and it should last 30 years. It should last. That's what the rule says. It should last. Keep in mind, if you retire at 55, 30 years from then is 85. I've got a lot of 85-year-old clients. So I don't want to run out of money at 85 years old. So the 25X rule is what we're going to use today to give us a good idea on how much we need to have saved, but it's not concrete, all right? The fourth factor you need to consider when you're thinking about retiring at 55 is Social Security. When are you going to take Social Security? Are you going to take Social Security at 62? Are you going to take Social Security at 67? Are you going to take Social Security at 70? Remember, if you take Social Security at 62, you're going to get 70% of your full retirement benefit. If you take Social Security at your full retirement age 67, for this example, you're going to get 100% of your full retirement benefit. And you wait to 70, if you're an overachiever, a broccoli eater, then you're going to get 124% of your full retirement benefit. So it's important to understand, when am I going to take Social Security, especially when you're doing planning for retiring at 55, because then you're going to determine how long am I going to need to take out retirement income from my retirement investing accounts. Think about it. If you retire at 55 and you're going to take Social Security at 67, which is what I'm going to show you on the board here in just a second, that's 12 years of retirement income. If you take it at 70, it's 15 years of retirement income that has to come out of your retirement investing accounts before you start taking Social Security. And so we've really got to know, when are we going to take Social Security? Is there any flexibility in taking Social Security? And what are the factors that I need to understand when it comes to Social Security planning? Single, married, spousal benefits, divorced spousal benefits. Those are all things that you need to understand if you're asking the question, can I retire at 55? And that's something that we do here at Your Financial EKG. We run Social Security maximization schedules for clients so they understand exactly when they need to take Social Security, but also I show them the flexibility in taking Social Security early or later depending on market conditions. And that's something you can get. All the details are in the description below. Now, the fifth factor we need to understand when it comes to, can I retire at 55, how much do I need, is the risk involved in retiring at 55. And the first risk is the sequence of return risk. And that's what we're going to focus on today when we go on the board and I do the actual scenario for you. Sequence of return risk is basically this: that you go into retirement and the stock market falls multiple years, meaning the stock market goes down, you lose money for the first multiple years of your retirement. Think 2000, 2001, 2002, 2003. The market was down 3 straight years from 01 to 03. And so if you retired in 2000, you didn't have a positive year in your retirement investing accounts until the year 2004. And then what happened 4 years later? 2008, 2009. And so you really want to understand, what's the risk I'm taking on my retirement investing accounts? And again, what is the flexibility? What are the changes that need to be made in my retirement income if the market goes down early or late during my retirement?